Rick's social life can turn him into a bit of a pickle.
Flip the pickle, Morty. You're not gonna regret it. The payoff is huge. I turned myself into a pickle, Morty! Boom! Big reveal, I'm a pickle. What do you think about that? I turned myself into a pickle!
And this level of emotional self-destruction eventually spills over onto everyone around him.
Somebody dropped the dime on us. Gearhead.
I'm sorry, Rick. The reward on your head is too high. And like you always say, you gotta look out for number one.
Number one is me, asshole!
Whether it's family, friends, or complete strangers, anyone who finds their way into Rick's life faces the consequences, and sometimes they don't make it, which goes to show spending any amount of time around this mad scientist will guarantee risk, stress, and pain like no other.
You're a rogue, Rick. Irrational, passionate. You love your grandkids. You came to rescue them. I came to kill you, bro. That's not even my original summer.
Oh my god, he's not bluffing. He's not bluffing!
Rick! Why not shoot through her? 20 yards. 9-gauge plasma pistol. My first shot would liquefy her insides and injure you. Second shot adds recoil. The risk to me is minimized if I wait for you to shoot her, which I'm encouraging you to do.
What the fuck?
Or let her go, which I will reward with a quicker death.
Today we're taking a look at some of the characters in Rick and Morty who suffer the most simply because they cross paths with Rick Sanchez. Let's start with a fan favorite, Mr.Poopybutthole. He was first introduced in Season 2, Episode 4, where parasitic alien worms invaded the Smith house and implanted false memories of bizarre characters into the family's minds. To clarify, in the opening scene, we hear the first and last words of Uncle Steve.
Who the f are you?
My goofy brother Steve? He's been living here almost a year now. Are you losing your mind?
Hey, someone's been spending too much time around glowing rocks, am I right?
Everybody just relax for a second.
This is where Rick tells the family that someone must have tracked in some disgusting worms from their last outer space trip. After this, he introduces our heartfelt Mr. Poopybutthole, who appears to be really close with Rick and his family.
Keep an eye out for any zany, wacky characters that pop up.
Ooh-wee! Whatever you want, Rick. We're here to help.
Thanks, Mr. Poopybutthole.
Rick then tells the family that there should be no more than 6 people in the house, ruling out our beloved Mr. Poopybutthole. Jolly and charismatic like no other, Mr. Poopybutthole even expresses a fond memory with the family as they attend a Hulk musical together. Cousin Nicky ruined this moment as he entered their memory.
Hey, Cousin Nicky! It's me, Cousin Nicky. I'm walking here. I mean, I'm not. I'm crouching in the elevator shaft, but hey, I'm walking here.
Rick, noticing how strange this was, takes out Cousin Nicky. The situation quickly spirals out of control. More parasites appear, more fake memories are created, and before long, the family can barely remember who's real and who is not.
All right, there's 6 of us, and that's it. Me, Morty, Jerry, Beth, Mr. Poopybutthole, Frankenstein, Sleepy Gary, Photography Raptor, Mr. Beauregard, and Summer.
Dad, that's like 10 people.
6, 10, what's the difference? I just love the number 6 for no reason.
Beth starts looking for evidence and notices something unsettling. Mr. Poopybutthole doesn't appear in any single one of her family photos, and she calls him out on it.
That's it. Photos, hard evidence. You're not in any of my photos, Mr. Poopybutthole.
Well, what do you know about this? You're not in any of mine.
Sadly, this is one of the reasons for his pain, but back to the plot, the whole family discovers that bad memories are the way to differentiate who is real and who is a worm. This whole situation ends up becoming a bloody mess filled with worms dying left and right. But after handling all the worms, Beth's suspicion of Mr. Poopybutthole being real never went away, and yeah, she shoots him, leading to an emotional moment for the family as they hear his almost dying words.
I need an ambulance. There's been a shooting. My wife shot. My wife shot a longtime family friend.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, Mr. Poopybutthole.
Keep breathing. Look at me. What's happening? Look at me. Don't fall asleep. Is this what bleeding to death is? Oh, Is this how I die?
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God.
The ending credits are even more traumatizing as Mr. Poopybutthole has to learn how to walk again, and at this point shuns the Smith family because of Beth. We don't see him again until the Season 2 finale post-credit scene where he's shown watching the audience in real time and directly speaking to us. Honestly, it just goes to show that Rick and Morty has never been afraid to completely shatter the fourth wall. Anyways, after expressing his thoughts about the plot twist to Season 2, he again brings up Beth shooting him and now having to take medications to ease his pain.
As you can see, I'm still recovering from the bullet shot that I got from Beth. Remember that one? Hoo-wee. Come and get it, kitty. You know, these little fellas help me get through the day. Oh, hoo-wee. Feels better.
Only problem is, he may have took too many pills as he attacks the pizza delivery guy before sending the audience off with what's expected in the next season of Rick and Morty. Surprisingly, despite everything he's been through, Mr. Poopybutthole still remains on good terms with Rick, but don't worry, it gets better before it gets much worse. When we see him again in season 3's finale's post-credit scene, he reveals that he's gotten married, had a child, and even went back to school to get his GED.
I got married, I had a baby, I went back to school, I got my GED. What did you do while you were waiting? Hopefully you didn't just fuck around and waste your life. Ooh-wee.
For the first time in a while, life actually seems to be going well. Although, to be fair, Rick hasn't really been around, so maybe that's why. Unfortunately, that happiness doesn't last long, because in season 4, episode 3, Rick re-enters his life, and let's just say everything goes downhill from here. Basically, in this episode, Rick creates a heistotron machine to out-heist a famous thief artist named Miles Knightley.
You're not an artist, you're Postmates.
I doubt this rivalry can be settled with words. Why don't we make things interesting? I challenge you to heist the crystal skull of Horowitz in a heist-off!
So with the heistotron, Rick assembles a team of old friends that were only used in his plan as a decoy.
What's the job?
That was it. Bye.
Miles finds this out after believing that he outsmarted Rick and double-crossed him, stealing the crystal skull, but instead pulls out a bag of shit.
Rick, welcome to Knightley's 9.
Oh, Rick, for real?
Yeah, you got that skull, buddy?
What? How?
Miles is not in our casting for some of the characters who suffer the most from Rick, but honestly, he should, because after the heist, Rick takes over the entire heisticon and tells everyone to steal everything, and literally, they deassemble Miles from head to toe. As Rick tries to leave the scene, Heistotron double-crosses Rick.
I am programmed to double-cross.
You're not programmed to double-cross me.
If I were, it wouldn't be much of a double-cross.
You son of a bitch. I'm in.
And knowing the danger he created, he begins to assemble a new team, and yes, he starts with Mr. Poopybutthole. As we skip to his scene, we see Mr. Poopybutthole as the professor, but suddenly his students begin attacking him, and he's forced to use his karate moves to take them all out.
Told you, Morty. He's still got it.
The team eventually defeats Heistotron by using increasingly random and unpredictable plans that the machine simply can't calculate. But the real damage comes afterwards in the post-credit scene, as Mr. Poopybutthole confronts Rick, asking that if the Heistotron was such an emergency, why did he hire his own students to attack him in the first place?
You weren't sure I was good enough at karate, so you hired my grad students to attack me?
Yep.
But it was an emergency, Rick. How long did that take?
It actually took less training than you'd think. Your students all shared a pretty keen aptitude for martial arts.
Mr. Poopybutthole, already looking depressed, just states how it costed him his job, and Rick honestly gives an emotionless apology.
Too bad I lost my job for putting my students in the hospital.
Yeah, sorry about that.
From here on, it's all downhill, because in the season 5 finale's post-credit scene, we once again find Mr. Poopybutthole watching Rick and Morty, but this time he's living all alone, blaming himself for everything that happened.
Ever think about how horrified the people we love would be if they found out who we truly are? So we just dig ourselves deeper into our lies every day, ultimately hurting the only people brave enough to love us. Wish I didn't do that. Wish I was brave enough to love them back. I don't know.
He tells the audience that he hasn't been the same since getting fired, and admits that he pushed away his own wife and child. Based on the state of his apartment, you know things have gotten bad. The guy's surviving off instant ramen, which, not gonna lie, reminds me of my college days. Anyways, despite believing everything was his fault, it's hard to ignore how Rick's return set off the chain of events that completely unraveled Mr. Poopybutthole's life. As we continue into the season 6 finale, we learn that Amy has officially left Mr. Poopybutthole, and like many people dealing with heartbreak, they throw themselves into the gym, hoping it will help him move on.
Think I'm overcompensating for the emptiness after Amy left with Poopy Jr., but my trainer Carl says the best way to get over a girl is to get under a 300-pound squat.
Damn right.
The only problem is he takes El Campion's workout advice a little too seriously, letting his ego get the better of him.
Oh, sugar! Oh, sugar! Oh, sugar! Oh, is it bad? Oh, it's really bad, isn't it?
To make matters even worse, he immediately goes back on everything he said about the gym being the cure for heartbreak, desperately begging his gym buddy to call Amy because she had him blocked. Rick. At this point, it's honestly hard not to feel bad for the guy. The cheerful, carefree friend we met back in season 2 is completely gone. Rick's return may not have been the only reason his life fell apart, but it was the spark that set everything in motion. Carrying ourselves into season 7, we actually get a well-awaited episode dedicated to Mr. Poopybutthole. In other words, the first episode of the season starts off with the family being fed up that he's been staying in their living room. And at first, Beth feels bad for him, defends the side against her kids, but when a dealer enters the scene looking for payment, that's when it crosses her line.
So I just sold some drugs to the weird little dude in there. He said you had cash. Oh, you kids in school? You having trouble focusing?
Okay, that's it. Morty, find your grandfather while I go talk to our house guest. Jerry, pay the dealer.
Enter Mr. Poopybutthole. Even worse than ever, an alcoholic who literally resembles a hopeless victim. Just look at the scene. We have multiple Don Julio drinks, an unfinished pizza box, dirty grimy stains all over the carpet, and even a book that reads custody laws for dummies. It's just all depressing, and he just literally restates how his life has all went to shit since Beth shot him.
Looks like I'm taking another turn for the worse. It all started when Beth shot me.
I said I was sorry.
I know. It tore you up inside. Like a bullet.
It was an accident!
Blaming her, but not trying to show it. Anyways, the family wants him out and proceed to tell Rick to deal with his friend, but he rather create a stupid ghost like Bean to scare him instead of actually talking to him like a real friend would do.
You're doing an intervention with us.
Nope.
Then we're sticking Poopybutthole downstairs with you.
What is this? Is this an intervention of me not intervening? You know this can't make the concept work, not comedically or clinically. Its success rate is 10% in both areas.
Then you have to help him on your own, and not with a ghost.
Goes to show Rick doesn't really care, but feels like he has to. Beth then suggests that in order to fix Mr. Poopybutthole, he needs to have an intervention. Obviously, Rick hates this idea, but goes to gather more friends such as Gearhead, Squanchy, Bird Person, and even Gene. They all then take Mr. Poopybutthole to a restaurant called Fuck Yous, where he explains how he hired a predator to follow his ex-wife. Yeah, stalking can be added to his list of despair.
Amy's taking Pilates from a guy named Guy.
You've been surveilling your ex-wife?
Ooh-wee, not with the restraining order. I hired a predator to follow her around.
You can hire predators?
Yeah, they're cheap because they live for the hunt.
Then their waiter comes over and let's just say he roasts Mr. Poopybutthole to the max.
Look at this depressed pencil eraser. Did some middle schooler stick you up a cat's asshole? I bet you had everything, and you watched it slip through your powerless little fingers like the sands of time.
We know Mr. Poopybutthole, he always tries to keep a good attitude, so he actually says he's happy and apparently grateful since it's his birthday.
This is a great place to celebrate my birthday. Birthday, 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 birthday.
Rick, in shock, didn't even realize it, just goes along with it. Again, the brutalness of the restaurant isn't over as the waiter comes back to deliver a final blow to Mr. Poopybutthole's birthday. This causes him to tear up, and he even states how his son hates him so much that the hat he was given makes total sense.
Heard we got a birthday boy!
Yeah, but please don't sing or...
Fuck you, shithead!
Yeah, that sure is a smart hat. Because even my son Poopy Jr. hates me.
But again, it doesn't stop him as he encourages they do shots. After some lollygagging, the crew ends up running into Hugh Jackman, and the party becomes more wild from there as he gives them extremely hardcore drugs. We then catch them back at Hugh Jackman's place, and Mr. Poopybutthole starts recollecting on how he wants Amy back, but everyone's up for the challenge except Rick.
Everybody, our friend wants Amy back.
Squanch idea!
I will agree to anything in this state.
I do not think that's a good idea.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man is a fake friend.
Come on, Hugh.
Come on, Hugh. Come on, everybody.
This is where Mr. Poopybutthole calls Rick out on being a fake friend, as it actually wasn't even his birthday to begin with. Rick leaves the situation in remorse, but returns after knowing he has been a terrible friend all along and couldn't just admit it. We then catch their attempt to get Amy back, but it turns out to be the predator that's getting Amy instead of Mr. Poopybutthole.
Ooh-wee, there she is, my Amy.
Electric.
Oh, she feels my love around her. Ooh-wee.
Wow, your love is pretty strong.
I guess that's not all she's feeling.
Mr. Poopybutthole, after seeing this, decides to just kidnap Poopy Jr., causing the predator to go after him. At first, there's no hope for them surviving, but Rick saves the day and takes the advantage as they begin beating the shit out of the predator. It isn't until Mr. Poopybutthole realizes that this scene is only making things worse between him and his family, so he tells everyone to break it up. Amy then comes to forgive Mr. Poopybutthole, but lets him know that it's over and she has a new family now. He comes to accept it, but does he really? Just look at that face. You know he feels otherwise. So this is why I don't blame what Hugh Jackman does to the predator even after all is forgiven.
I hunt because I must, but man possesses a precious gift, the power to change.
More like the power of music, bitch.
Jesus, Hugh, we were just resolving it.
Like the predator took on a job and literally is now sleeping with his wife. Like, come on. The ending in the episode enters the fourth wall again, and Mr. Poopybutthole does a silent outro for each character that vanishes into thin air. Rick does make up with Mr. Poopybutthole, but in my opinion, all really isn't forgiven.
Yep, don't any of you worry about Mr. Poopybutthole. I got a lot of work to do, but I'll land on my poopy little feet. I always do. Ow! This burns like hell! How did the other guys not react?
Again, we catch him in season 7 finale, possibly living in Rick's garage door, or trapped there, as it shows literally tally marks implying he's been there for probably about a month or longer, and his madness has spread so far that he stole Rick's portal gun and decided to hop into a new dimension where he's happy again. Yeah, he did have to take some other guy's spot to do that, so there's that.
It was touch and go there for a second. Oh, remember when I stole my kid? I stole one of these, too. Well, it's all about having a goal and stopping at nothing to achieve it.
In this new dimension, he doesn't change, and like Mr. Poopybutthole, his need to enter the fourth wall may be a little too much as it catches the suspicion for his new stolen wife, which later is explained in the season 8 finale as he apparently is taken in by Amy, trapped in a containment tank, as doctors and scientists discuss how strange he is.
Season 8, huh? I liked when Jerry was the Easter Bunny. That was fun. Oh, and
Who is he? Who's he talking to?
I can never tell. But that data is irrefutable.
The ending to this just elaborates to a worse fate for Mr. Poopybutthole, as Amy in this dimension knows he's not her real husband and probably will torture him. Going into another joyful candidate who only appeared briefly but still suffered because of Rick's brutality, we have Churry. In season 7 episode 6, we're shown a series of flashbacks where Morty asks Rick to turn his churro into a real living being.
Hey Rick, can you make my churro come to life?
On it!
Churry, do you want to have fun?
At first, everything is wholesome. Morty and Churry quickly become best friends, spending their days making memories together. They visit amusement parks, go fishing, and even hit the arcade where Morty somehow manages to get himself trapped inside a claw machine and nearly dies. Overall, the two build what looks like a genuine great friendship. But once Morty has had his fun, he asks Rick to turn Churry back into an ordinary churro. There's just one problem. Rick reveals that it can't be done. Basically, the process of bringing Churry to life also made him immortal.
I can turn him back into a regular churro now.
What? I can't turn him back. You asked me to bring him to life. Bam, done. But he's a churro. He doesn't have internal organs, a brain, etc. In order to live, I had to make him functionally immortal.
So instead of telling Churry the truth, Rick comes up with one of the coldest lies in the series. He and Morty tell Churry they're taking him back to his home planet. Completely overjoyed, Churry jumps out of the ship and runs toward what he believes are his own people. Only they're just regular churros sitting on the ground. By the time he realizes the truth and turns around, Rick and Morty are already gone.
These are just regular churros? Oh my god! No! Mark my words, Morty! I shall leave you as you left me! On a barren planet, praying for death!
This whole situation is just messed up. Churry never asked to be brought to life, and the moment he became inconvenient, Rick abandoned him to spend eternity completely alone. I mean, let's be honest. They literally could have made more living churros and left them all together on this abandoned planet to actually be a family, not traumatized an immortal churro that will most likely go insane over time. Man, if Churry even comes back looking for revenge in a future episode, I wouldn't even blame him.
Ah! Oh, I knew this day would come. Oh God. Ah!
Nice. Free churro.
Oh.
Next on our list is Gene, the poor neighbor who honestly gets tossed around all the time by either Rick or his family. Anyways, he was first introduced in season 3 episode 5 where Summer attempts to enlarge her own breast after Ethan dumps her for Trisha.
Oops. Okay, just a little more on the other side then. Oh, come on. Oh, jeez. Stop!
Unfortunately, the experiment goes horribly wrong, turning her into a gigantic monster. Beth tries to fix the situation, but only makes things worse, leading to another argument between her and Morty. Hearing all the commotion, Gene comes over just to check if everything's okay, only for the Smith family to basically tell him to fuck off.
You're just as arrogant and just as irresponsible!
Everything okay here?
Mind your own goddamn business, Gene! I'm having a conversation with my mother here!
The next time we see Gene, he's actually presumed dead, and yeah, this was all thanks to Rick and Morty. In season 5 episode 40, Morty's perverted spike in puberty leads to an outbreak of his own giant sperm, which begins attacking everyone around him. Sadly, Gene becomes one of their victims as Rick casually mentions that he ran Gene over while escaping the sperm.
What the hell is going on?
Beth, sweetheart, can you give me a minute? I'm trying to steer around the bodies of our neighbors. Oh, that felt like Gene. That's on you, Beth.
Dad, I swear.
Mom, it's not Rick's fault. It's
space sperm.
His survival is actually cleared up in a later episode when Rick's garage asks for Gene's help. In other words, to clarify, Rick enters the bird person's brain and asks his computer to do everything to keep him alive, or she'll die too.
Risk level unacceptable.
If I die, your battery has a 600-year charge.
Risk level acceptance increasing.
Yeah, I thought you'd see it my way. Now factor in the 50% chance I'm lying and make sure I get back.
Asshole detected.
Takes one to make one.
This leads the computer to persuade Gene intimately, and apparently that's enough.
How many batteries do you own? Do you have solar panels? Are you familiar with basic engineering?
This is moving really fast.
Let's cut to the chase. I will suck your dick.
When Rick finally returns, Gene has gathered everything the garage needed, only to get completely humiliated by the AI.
What? What is this guy doing?
Wait, what? But you said...
Get out of here, weirdo. What a weird stranger. Huh. What a random thing to happen. This guy coming up here with all his energy storage devices.
Shooting over to season 6, episode 1, we actually get the death of Gene from Dimension C-131 off screen. This is because season 2 Jerry accidentally releases Mr. Frundles.
Ugh, you're back.
Oh shit, season 2, Jerry.
Look, before you bust my balls, can someone help with this shower? It's colder than Beth on our anniversary. Also, look who I found in Rick's room.
I'm Mr. Frundles.
I don't care how cute he is. We agreed, no boogans in the house.
Wait, season 2, Jerry, don't!
Mr. Frundles.
Everybody in the car.
Who proceeds to infect literally the entire dimension. Before long, Gene, along with everyone else, is transformed into Mr. Frundles. Once again, Gene ends up another hopeless victim of Rick's adventures.
Can't we just go back and fix it?
But don't worry, we're not done yet, because plenty more versions of Gene continue to suffer simply because they know Rick. To continue Gene's misery, we're now in the Parmesan dimension. In season 6, episode 4, Rick creates the Night Family to do everyone's chores while they sleep, but naturally everything goes to shit.
You is not in charge. Night, I am.
I don't care, I ain't rinsing shit. Hey, what are you doing?
If you refuse to clean your dishes, then I will have to do it for you.
During a chaotic escape, Rick yells at Gene for asking a completely harmless question.
Having a bit of trouble with your car, Sanchez?
Not now, Gene!
To continue his sadness in the very same episode, the cause of the Night Family leads Beth to drive straight back to her house, but as she wakes back up, she goes through Gene's prized rose bushes. All the poor guy can do is stand there in complete disbelief, as yet something meaningful he had is destroyed by Rick.
Why even bother, Gene?
It somehow gets worse for him because in season 7, where he represents a more promising role when trying to help Mr. Poopybutthole get his poop back, like discussed earlier, Gene is one of the friends Rick picks to help, but I did leave out how this comes to be. Well, basically, Rick doesn't even tell him what they're doing, as he just asks Gene if he's drunk and pulls him off his lawnmower.
Have you been drinking?
On a Thursday?
He seems ideal.
Ah!
So, where to? A coffee shop?
No.
Gene is confused as Rick just ignores him and his priorities. Literally one mean lawnmower that goes on a rampage, practically destroying the whole town. Back at the Fuck Yous restaurant, Gene's torment doesn't end as the waiter calls him a Gilligan.
Welcome to Fuck Yous. My name is Mart and fuck you. See, at Fuck Yous, we lightly tease our customers.
Oh, this is fun.
What do you know, Gilligan?
Nice.
And I researched this. Basically, it means someone is seen as a doofy, clueless, and overly sheltered sidekick who ends up stuck in absurd, chaotic situations that they can't control. Literally, in the next scene, they all get wasted and are caught drinking alcohol out of an alien's belly button, but Gene gets the short end of the stick and may honestly be drinking out of her asshole.
That one's not my belly button.
Well, what is it?
The rest of this is just a montage, because at this point, Gene goes from committing murder in a different dimension on alcohol beans to getting wasted in a vat of alcohol to meeting Hugh Jackman and helping Mr. Poopybutthole. As discussed earlier, eventually the group stops at a taco place, but I held out what happened to Gene. Well, apparently he was inside ordering food for them and was excited he got a friendship deal for having friends, but came out to find that his so-called friends weren't there. His food gets taken away and Gene is left there standing completely all alone. Honestly, it really shows that Rick never cared about him to begin with.
Guys, I got the best Bud's burrito box. They normally ask for proof of friendship, but the cashier trusted me that you guys were out here.
Not cool, man.
Going into season 7, episode 2, we catch Jerry arguing with Rick that Gene must have took his rake. Rick offers a gun to him to get the situation resolved. Obviously, Jerry refuses the gun and calls Rick out on simply being too smart to understand. And this basically leads to the transformation of Jericki. At this point, Gene appears later in the episode with Jerry's rake and admits to Jericki that he was lying about having it the whole time, and that the rake was only meant to keep his neighbors in his life.
May as well have your rake back then.
That's right, I took it. I asked myself, why lie about it? Don't you think he knows? Couldn't I get my own? Of course I could have, but god damn it, this rake, it kept my neighbors in my life. You guys don't give a goddamn shit about Gene. But I see that won't help me any longer. Here.
You are no longer obligated.
A heartfelt speech for a disheartened response. In season 8, episode 6, Beth and Space Bat turn themselves into 10-year-olds and go on a rampage of destruction. The two sadistic sisters then make their way over to Gene's house, where they attempt to lure him back to their treehouse filled with booby traps. Gene's been through his fair share and already knows it's a trap and offers cocoa instead, which they then proceed to roast him.
Seems like you girls are on a bit of a spree. Feel like I'm gonna be walking into some booby traps. Let's have some cocoa instead.
Let's have some cocoa. I'm divorced.
Hey, that is cruel and technically untrue. But you're in an altered headspace, so I know you don't mean it.
We then catch them stabbing Gene and sadly leaving him there as a spiral of events take place, leading to his house turning on fire and losing his hand. He does try to contact 911, but it goes directly to a countdown instead of immediately the emergency operator.
Hey Siri, call 911.
Countdown to calling 911. Calling 911 in 10, 9, 8.
Why does it need a countdown?
Man, Gene is just never having a good day when Rick's family is involved. Shortly after, it's discovered that Rick is intercepting Gene's 911 distress calls and goes to check on the situation. He then appears to Gene's rescue, noticing firemen carrying him out, but they immediately drop him as Rick offers them money. Rick then stops the fire on Gene's house and heals his hand, but leaves him as he says thank you, but then passes out.
We're done here, boys! Rick, your girls, they're not good people. Thank you.
At least Rick could apologize in this situation, or at least fix his house, because at this point Gene must be in debt for all the property damage Rick has put him through. In the ending credits, we catch all the intercept calls Gene has made to 911, expressing even Rick leaves him on red.
So I was eating a burger and now my hands are burgers. Hi, I'm being home invaded, and it's by a small home. There's a small home that's home invading my home. It's wearing a ski mask, but it's definitely a house. There's a pigeon outside my house demanding to see my birth certificate. I'm beginning to think 911 shouldn't have an answering machine. Also, I have 11 legs now. Nobody ever comes.
This is currently the last we see of Parmesan Gene, but we do get a one-off version of Gene from the recent season 9 where Rick goes to a bunker dimension to defend himself against Evil Morty and enlists Bunker Gene.
Open your heart to the joys of the bunker dimension. There's normal plumbing and your friends and neighbors all have combat training, like Bunker Gene here.
Hoorah!
At ease, PG.
Not much is known about him other than he was a brave Marine that instantly got obliterated by Evil Morty.
Semper Fi!
Following a depressing character like Gene, the next one on the list is Mr.Needful, aka the Devil. In season 1, episode 9, Summer gets a job at a cursed object store where her boss is legit the Devil, selling antique items to the Needful. Get it? Anyways, Rick notices his odd behavior and calls Mr. Needful out on him being the Devil.
So what are you, like the devil?
What? Sorry?
I don't know. Store comes out of nowhere. All the shit's old and creepy. Are you the devil? A demon? Leprechaun?
Grandpa Rick!
Hey, I'm not judging. Just like to shoot straight. I'm a man of science.
The two then begin bickering against each other, and let's just say it gets pretty awkward. Mr. Needful then gives Rick a telescope to aid in his scientific research, but Rick later discovers it actually was meant to make him retarded. He then returns to the curse shop to mock Mr. Needful and explains to him that he developed a machine from the telescope to detect all weird curses within his store. Rick then walks around scanning each item, exposing every curse and driving away customer after customer.
A typewriter that generates best-selling murder mysteries and then makes the murders happen in real life? Ooh.
Be quiet.
Don't you want to make sure people know what they're getting? You're not intentionally selling beauty cream that makes ugly ladies pretty but also makes them blind?
I find this all quite preposterous.
The situation between them escalates as Rick again sarcastically argues with Mr. Needful until Summer has to step in and stop the two from killing each other. At this point, Mr. Needful accepts Summer and the two build a good relationship together. We then catch them excited that business is booming, but when a customer walks in admitting she's going to get a curse removed at Courage Purge Plus, that's when we catch Rick within a commercial on him basically undoing every curse Mr. Needful gives away.
What?
Have you acquired creepy specific old stuff from a mysterious antique or thrift store that gives you powers but with you in unforeseeable ways? Bring it to Curse Purge Plus. I use science to uncurse the items for cash.
Funny thing is, his store location is across the street. Business gets so bad that Mr.Needful legit tries to unalive himself, and Summer is there trying to save him with the use of a monkey paw. He's so depressed that he'd rather go back to hell than pick a fight with someone as diabolical as Rick.
Mr. Needful, how could you even think of doing something so horrible?
I'm the devil. What should I do when I fail? Give myself an ice cream?
You haven't failed.
People like Rick are making me obsolete. I mean, seriously. I may be the devil, but your grandpa is the devil.
Summer then goes to Rick telling him they're filing for bankruptcy and that this nearly killed the devil, to where Rick responds by mocking him and actually happy he tried to off himself. This is crazy even for Rick. Anyways, things actually turn out better for Mr. Needful after Summer helps him design a new company called Needful.com with 3s instead of E's. It gets bought by Google, and this level of greed causes him to Zuckerberg Summer.
We just got bought by Google!
I'm so proud of you, Lucius. So, how much did we make?
This is my business. Security!
You're Zuckerberging me?
I was Zuckerberging people before Zuckerberg's balls dropped.
But don't worry, he does suffer as we get a montage of Rick and Summer getting jacked, then getting their revenge on Mr. Needful as he seems to be doing a TED Talk but gets humiliated in front of an entire crowd when they barge in and beat the crap out of him.
Summer?
Stupid mother...
Stupid bitch!
Stupid mother... How do you like that? How do you like that?
Why?
Now before we continue, please subscribe as it helps with the channel and hit that like button. The next character is a favorite for me as it came with the adaptation of Pickle Rick. Thus, in season 3 episode 3, Rick turns himself into a pickle just because he didn't want to go to therapy with his family. Leave it to Rick to find his way out of anything.
Why is there a syringe of mysterious fluid hanging directly over you? Also, why is the string attached to it running through a pair of scissors attached to a timer? And why is the timer set to 10 minutes from now, exactly when we would have left for therapy?
Anyways, his quest as a pickle went from nearly dying from a heat stroke to getting washed into the sewers, then inevitably taking over Cockroach's body that he used to build himself a suit to make him practically unstoppable.
Oh yeah!
The spiral events eventually lead him to escape the sewers and coming out directly through a toilet. But the only problem is, it's a mansion guarded by a fortress of Russians and the head of security is Pavel Bartik, which we will call the agency director, our next victim. Back to Rick, he first tries to escape with no harm, no foul, and attempts to communicate with the guards, but immediately they open fire on him.
Hey, it's cool. Just need to find the nearest exit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. No need to freak out.
Narushenye bezopasnosti!
Who in the fuck's toilet is this?
The agency director is then called in to where he represents a calm and assertive force over his men as he dictates why he's being called. The guards then explain their worry as they mention how Rick is collecting stuff around the facility that they believe is to build a weapon and is also purposely being an asshole by transferring trash to the recycling bin.
It transferred a bottle from the trash to the recycling bin. Whatever this thing is, it's shaming us. We have 34 armed guards and we can't kill a pickle. 32 armed guards.
Rick then attempts to call them to where he asks to be released, but the director basically says no while he tracks the specific room he's hiding at. The director then mentions how Rick is violating international law and simply can't be released even after he killed 2 of his men. Rick then explains why he had to kill them as they were simply refusing to let him out. One of the guards, worried, then says Selenia, to which the agency director responds by telling him to shut the fuck up.
You should know. Those men killed themselves.
And how is that?
They didn't let me out.
Selenia, shut your mouth and do your jobs, you fucking children!
Rick then asks if it's a good time to talk, in which the agency director then explains the meaning of Selenia as a old wives' tale about some pickle that haunts kids' dreams. During this, the armed crew of guards ambush the room believing to be the location of Rick, but sadly meet their demise.
We got them.
After this, Rick then responds back to the meaning of Selenia by basically implying he's going to do more than what the tale proclaims, as he goes on a brutal death streak, killing a bunch of guards and taking out some of their legs. The main guard at this point believes in Selenia, and the aging director again tells him it's just a pickle.
He's coming. It's because I threw halfway my sandwich! He's just a pickle! He's a monster!
The director then begins to understand the situation is dire and releases a fugitive known as Jaguar and promises to save his daughter if he helps him fight Pickle Rick. A full-on battle takes place between Pickle Rick and Jaguar, and neither of them could get the upper hand. The director then notices this as each camera suddenly gets taken out. Lost in the loop, the director then asks Jaguar if the pickle has been eliminated, but it's actually Rick that responds.
Is it done? Jaguar?
Jaguar couldn't make it.
Worried for his life, the director offers $100 million in bonds as he asks the guards to call him a helicopter.
That money belongs to the people! Shut up and call me a helicopter, you prick!
Rick, not giving a shit about the money, tells the director to give the money to Jaguar's daughter, but shockingly, the agent director was lying the whole time. Anyways, the director then turns to his guards as his helicopter arrives and assassinates both of them.
Is the helicopter here? Yes, and the police are on their way. What do we tell them? Tell them we were robbed.
But as he gets to the top of the facility with the bonds, he then notices Jaguar double-crossed him and Pickle Rick smoking a cig until he drops it on the roof filled with gas. The agency director sees this, knowing it's over, and says his last words and accepts his fate. It goes to show, one afternoon of dealing with Rick Sanchez cost him his men, his facility, and ultimately his life. Our next victim is probably the weirdest one on this list, because it's literally one of Rick's ex-girlfriends, except she's an actual planet. Apparently, planets are one of Rick's kinks.
I don't have hydrostatic equilibrium yet.
Is that something you can learn?
You get the idea.
I was watching over your shoulder for a full minute.
So I was watching because it's funny. They're planets, but they're sexy. It's a comedic premise.
Yeah.
Planets.
Anyways, in season 4 episode 9, the Smith family is about to head out on a camping trip when Gaya the Planet suddenly blows up Rick's phone, claiming she's pregnant and desperately needs his help. Since Rick is presumed to be the father, Beth forces him to go, despite Rick insisting the children aren't his.
Where is she?
You're looking at her.
I don't understand.
Isn't it obvious, Morty? I fucked a planet.
When they arrive, Gaya is literally giving birth to thousands of rocky children that all look suspiciously like Rick. Rick then steps up and genuinely tries to help. He even begins shaping their new civilization, sorting the children into different roles, while throwing away anyone he considers unproductive.
Shit, they blew a hole in the human resources department.
You're fired. I'm putting this in your file.
We gotta fix this, Dad. We can't keep recycling them through.
I could add an online college workaround.
Or just push them out through a pipe in the back.
Same thing.
This bites Rick in the ass later in the episode as Jerry finds his way into Rick's machine and is also tossed away like an unproductive, leading him to eventually become their leader. As Rick continues bonding with the children, Gaya suddenly drops a bombshell. Rick isn't actually the father. The real father is a Zeus named Reggie. Rick couldn't care less who Reggie is. What frustrates him is that he spent all his time helping raise an entire civilization only for some random god to swoop in and claim credit.
Kidding me? God is the father?
No hard feelings, okay? We thought they were yours, you know, because they're so small.
Oh, wow, no hard feelings. You hear that, Beth? Guy swoops in after we raise his whole civilization and tells us he forgives us. What a fucking mooch.
Don't push me, asshole!
Reggie immediately insults Rick's parenting, arguing that Rick has made the children weak by encouraging science and exploration when they should be worshipping him instead. To make matters worse, Guy completely sides with Zeus and tells Rick to leave. After everything he had done for her and the children, she just throws him aside without a second thought. Rick refuses, and at this point, he becomes emotionally invested and declares that they are his kids now. This is where Jerry steps in as basically a prophet who's given powers by the Zeus to fight against Rick.
Walls can't stop us, Rick. We are chosen. Shaboom boom! Sorry. Just trying to get the hang of this thing.
Nice choice of chosen people, G-Diddles. I guess you'll be playing the Mysterious Ways card on that one.
You wanna go, bro? I'll kick your ass myself.
Oh, dude, don't tempt me.
And this is where an all-out brawl between them takes place in space. Rick nearly dies, but luckily Morty and Sam were high off their minds on space gas, crash into Zeus's head, killing him instantly.
Oh, I'm fucking high!
Oh god, now I'm high too!
His body then crashes onto Gaya and she begins to throw a tantrum, nearly wiping out all her kids and destroying the very civilization Rick had just built. She becomes so consumed with destroying Rick that she doesn't even care if her own children die in the process. Rick saves whatever kids he can and then leaves his ship for them to explore the cosmos, but he does know that Gaya will probably raise them to hunt him down, in which he responds by saying,
I mean, Guy is not gonna raise those guys to hunt us down, right?
Oh, most definitely. I put a tracker on their ship. I'll blow it up if they come anywhere near me.
Our next candidate is Bird Person. He was first introduced in the season 1 finale as Rick's best friend, when he shows up believing Rick had set a distress beacon for an emergency, but it's actually just a ploy for him to enjoy the party and possibly get laid.
Bird Person!
I am pleased there is no emergency.
Oh, there's an emergency, all right. Up emergency. When's the last time you got laid, Purrs?
Bird Person does express his mating problems, and this eventually leads Bird Person to eventually meet Tammy. They grow fond of each other during the party.
I should let you know, I just got out of a highly intense soul bond with my previous spirit mate.
I'm not looking to get into a soul bond. I'm just looking for...
I believe Bird Person can arrange that.
But after the party, Morty begins ranting on about Rick being an asshole. But Bird Person actually defends him and expresses his consideration toward Rick and his feelings before he takes off with Tammy. We then catch Bird Person in Season 2, Episode 5, where he saves Morty and brings him back to his house, where Tammy again acts a little too much.
I don't know what humans eat.
You know what this human eats.
Don't be gross, Tammy.
Bird.
Tammy, gross!
He again goes on to express his admiration for Rick, even though this all goes downhill after. Going into the Season 2 finale, we catch Bird Person inviting Rick to his wedding, to where his whole family is excited to support them except Rick.
This is Bird Person.
And Tammy!
Inviting you to Planet Squanch for our mate melding ceremony.
That means we're getting married. Oh my god! My friend Tammy's marrying Bird Person!
What the hell is a bird person?
He's Rick's best friend.
Let's not get carried away, Morty.
Would you like to RSVP or send a gift?
No.
Jerry then mistakenly gets shipped to Planet Squanch, and now Rick says he's forced to go.
Where is it taking him?
I assume Planet Squanch, 6,000 light years across the galaxy.
Oh, that's insane!
Yeah, I know. Now we have to go to the wedding.
Anyways, at the wedding, everyone seems to be having a good time, but Rick doesn't stop being a douche, as he literally tells Bird Person that he hopes he was smart enough to get a prenup, and then calls him out on becoming a simp. We then jump to the vows, and Bird Person gets married. Everyone is in awe, but Rick is drunk off his mind. After this, the celebration continues, and Rick gives a toast that is a little too unsettling at first, but eventually opens up his heart for their marriage.
At a certain point, you gotta ask yourself, what are the odds this is legit, not just some big lie we're all telling ourselves because we're afraid to die alone? Because, you know, that's exactly how we all die. Alone.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Jesus.
But, here's the thing. Bird Person is my best friend. And if he loves Tammy, well, then I love Tammy too.
But these cheers of joy fall short as Tammy gives a response to basically being a Galactical Federation agent undercover and telling everyone they're under arrest, and then kills Bird Person.
Everyone here is under arrest for crimes against the Federation.
L'chaim!
Tammy, what are you doing?
Sit your bird ass down.
Tammy?
Bird Person!
We don't see Bird Person till Season 4 finale, where he's resurrected as Phoenix Person by the Galactical Federation. Rick antagonizes him by basically saying he killed his wife with no remorse, and that Bird Person is just a whip. They begin fighting to where even Bird Person admits Rick was always a bad friend.
It's funny. I always wondered who would win if we ever fought.
Then you were always a bad friend.
Bird Person eventually gets the upper hand, but it isn't until Jerry steps in to save the day.
Now come here, you big hollow bone featherhead. Let me give you some of this sweet ass.
At this point, Bird Person is in a coma and on the verge of death, but it isn't until Season 5, Episode 8, where Rick actually does some good by putting Bird Person back together and entering his mind to retrieve him. But he honestly wants nothing to do with Rick, as he flees throughout the memories and wishes to die in peace.
Let's get out of here.
Don't you get it? I came here to end it all.
I hope you didn't think it'd be as easy as this.
I did not. You were a good friend, Rick. Goodbye.
As Bird Person's brain begins to fall apart, Rick and Memory Rick make their way to the Battle of Blood Ridge, where Memory Rick sees how Rick responded to Bird Person when asked to explore the multiverse together, and basically left them after Bird Person chose to not follow. It's one of the clearest examples of how Rick pushes away the people who care about him the most. Anyways, Rick eventually finds a way to Bird Person, but he's still adamant on staying, but it isn't until Rick mentions he has a kid trapped away on a Galactical Federation prison.
Are you gonna tell him or what? I was getting to it. I bet she didn't even tell you about the kid.
About
I'm
the
sorry.
what?
Was wondering when you were gonna.
I think I'd know if I had a kid.
You're a memory. You know what he knows.
They then escape his brain and survive, but Bird Person calls Rick out about his child, as Rick knew about his kid but refrained from telling them, as it would make him even more distant and not allow them to hang out. Bird Person then leaves, quoting he will see Rick when he sees him.
Was there really a second in there where you knew about my child but chose not to inform me on the chance I might then grow too busy child rearing to hang out?
Oh, weird way to thank me for discovering your kid.
You did not know of the child when you came to rescue me, and once aware, refrained from sharing until necessary to save yourself.
Fair enough.
I will see you when I see you.
Overall, Bird Person was deeply affected by Rick, and him being a bad friend has made him miserable throughout his life. But even with this, future seasons do allow them to get along, and he may be the only character in this list that has actually survived Rick's torment. Next on our list is Unity. She was first introduced in Season 2, Episode 3 when Rick and Morty fall a distress signal to an abandoned ship in which Rick only wants to loot instead of helping. Upon arrival, they meet aliens claiming that an entity took over the people, in which Rick cuts them off as he notices the two behind them seem weirdly calm about the entire situation. This is where Unity then attacks the remaining aliens and takes over their minds. Unity then introduces herself, and Rick, surprised, then tells his grandkids that they used to date.
Hello, Rick. Long time no see.
Unity?
Grandpa?
Oh boy, these are my grandkids, Summer and Morty. Summer, Morty, this is Unity. We sort of used to date.
From a planet to a collective, man, Rick's love life is out of control. Anyways, Rick and Unity rekindle their love as he sends his grandkids to spend time with Unity. The two then claim to have changed for the better, and this leads them to have a direct connection to get back together.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I've grown.
Hey, listen, I've grown too. I have! You see, I've reconnected with my family, right?
Why is that, I wonder?
Maybe it's part of getting old. Or maybe I just missed being with a collective.
Even Unity expresses her excitement for Rick and goes along with his shenanigans to impress him. Literally, he asks for an entire population of redheads to bang, but Morty can't even get a girl. After some lovemaking, Beta 7, another collective mind, appears bringing gifts. He and Rick don't get along as Rick gloats his connection with her that Beta 7 wishes he could have.
I was thinking Velocitinis, but...
Aw, old man Rick can't party with the whole planet.
I could do whatever you do and more, baby.
During this high intense partying, Unity begins to get a little carried away. She also starts to slip a little and begins to lose control of her host. This dramatic event leads to free will for her people she once had control over, and let's just say Summer and Morty experience a race war, leaving to the show to create a war about nipples.
I'm Derek Jefferson. I'm a landscaper. And I'll be damned if that ripple nipple bitch's race is superior. The cone nipple people will rule this world!
You shut your mouth, you dirty knife nipple bastards!
What'd you say to me, you target chest piece of shit?
Race war!
Unity then saves them with a SWAT team, and even Summer and Morty express their concerns for Unity as she legit is flying a helicopter drunk and even skipping out at an important meeting with the Galactical Federation. Her whole life is seemingly falling apart, but I guess Rick's level of riz is just that good.
Unity, this place is a mess. Oh, it's cool. The part of me that's the cleaning lady is coming on Friday. Oh my god, I have a meeting at the Galactic Federation in an hour. Oh, I'll never make it. I'll push it to next week.
Summer and Morty then push for Rick to take them home and leave Unity as he's basically a bad influence on her. Rick then asks Unity what she thinks, and she basically is on his side supporting his wishes, but it isn't until Summer gets denied by Rick when expressing her feelings that coming home is a favor of loving them. This creates the crack in Unity's love for Rick as spending a little too much time with him gets carried away. She realizes that Rick is just holding her back, and when he goes to the restroom, she sneaks away and leaves behind 1,000 notes explaining why they could never be.
Forgive me for doing this in notes. I'm not strong enough to do it in persons.
I realize now that I'm attracted to you for the same reason I can't be with you. You can't change.
And I have no problem with that, but it clearly means I have a problem with myself.
We then catch her again in Season 7, Episode 3, where Unity takes over Virginia as a way of getting Rick's attention as he basically hasn't responded to her and keeps forwarding her calls. The reason she does this is because even after making a strong decision to leave him, she still cares for his safety, especially since he's going after Rick Prime.
Calm down! We came because we're worried about you.
Why?
We hear things, Rick. I tried calling, but is it true you're looking for him again?
You almost died last time.
That's none of your business.
Your business.
You quit that business, and you're fired from that business.
This obviously doesn't change Rick's mind, as he threatens to harm himself if she doesn't back away. This is where the president steps in and threatens civil war by enforcing a dome over Virginia, trapping her hive mind. Unity then makes a video call to Earth.
Mr. President.
Lady, you bring that ship to America's planet. I'm launching 4,000 warheads, 3,000 of which will turn out to work. Then I'll call China, and you're really fucked.
And asks for Rick to let the dome down so he can release them properly, as basically they can turn into their own hive mind. Rick doesn't care and says he can handle it as he pushes Unity away and shatters whatever friendship they could have had. Shortly after, the President of the United States actually ends up going to Virginia and taking over the hive mind. Rick is then forced to have to man up and take Wong with him to gain the help from Unity. They go back and forth, and Wong actually sides with Unity, explaining Rick is being a big baby and is changing slowly.
Unity, I think the reason Rick brought me here is that he doesn't know how to indicate to you he's changed, because he's changing very slowly. But he is.
All right, anyone else want to call me a baby? Maybe we can drag this out until Earth is fully assimilated.
Unity then agrees to help and takes over Earth, then releases everyone. But even after they get along, Unity just simply doesn't trust Rick anymore, even after he barely starts to trust her. This ending is quite sad as they once had a great relationship, but Rick ruined that by simply being himself. To end this off, let's listen to Unity's voicemails.
Hey Rick, it's Unity. Give me a call, okay? Hey Rick, Unity. Look, cards on the table. I heard you were going after that guy again. Just made me worried. Give me a call. Look, I get it. I dumped you. You're ignoring me. But I care about you, and I just want to know you're all right.
The final victims on our list are the Prime family, the original Smith family from the dimension where the series began. Long before the events of the show, Rick Prime abandoned his wife and daughter, leaving Beth to grow up without a father. Years later, our Rick C-137, secretly moved into their home not because he cared about them, because he was using the dimension as bait in hopes of one day finding Rick Prime.
Where are we going?
To kill your grandpa, little buddy.
Wait, what? I don't understand. My original Rick killed your family, and you were just waiting for him to come back?
Seems like you understand fine, Morty. That was A+ repiping.
At first, everything seemed normal as Beth happily welcomed her father back and the family slowly adjusted to having him around. But in season 1, episode 6, Morty convinces Rick to create a love potion for Jessica, which spirals out of control and creates a global catastrophe that mutates nearly everyone on Earth into horrific Cronenberg monsters. Unable to fix the disaster, Rick simply abandons the dimension with Morty and replaces himself in another universe, leaving Beth, Jerry, and Summer to survive the apocalypse on their own.
Seem to be living until he bites ya. And then the blood and the red and the water.
You ever wonder what happened to Rick and Morty?
Sometimes. But I'm ashamed to admit, now that they're gone, I'm finally happy.
It isn't until season 3, episode 1, where Summer searches for a way to save our Rick as he turned himself into the Galactical Federation. This is where she digs up her actual Rick's bones and finds a portal gun which Morty argues with Summer to put it back. She doesn't listen, so he takes the gun from Summer and enters coordinates to his original dimension. Shortly after, they get attacked by a Galactical Federation robot trying to steal the technology, but after are saved by the Prime family.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. I have that exact same top. What is this place? And what's with Hunger Games Summer?
It then invite them to have some Cronenberg, and by the looks of it, each one of them has gone basically feral. Morty just wanted to explain to Summer how Rick's adventures has led to the destruction of his real family, and basically took her there just to prove a point. Rick literally wore off on Morty because he too doesn't even care. Anyways, the Prime family is super against Rick and literally destroy the portal gun and are about to destroy Summer before Citadel Ricks appear and freeze the Prime family.
Back savages! Backwoods savage morons!
You can never leave. She cannot remain.
She stinks of Rick.
Years later in season 6, episode 1, Rick resets portal travel and Morty ends up returning again to his original dimension to find that Prime Jerry is still alive. He also learns that Beth died from sickness and Summer eventually froze to death after being trapped in the ice for so long.
Where's Mom and Summer?
Oh, they're gone. Sorry, Morty.
Gone?
We spent a long time in that ice. A gentle mutant licked us out, but Beth got sick and Summer didn't thaw right.
He then leaves Morty and steals his stuff. Morty eventually tracks Prime Jerry down, but he honestly wants nothing to do with him. He also admits that they were abandoned and explains how Morty treated them like garbage and left them for dead. The scene was so deep as Jerry just walks away from Morty, leaving him to die just like he did to him.
Please don't go! If Rick comes back, we can find you a new reality! A new mom, a new Summer, a job!
Oh, you don't get it, kid. Except for this conversation, my life is perfect. Rick was always right. Everyone needs to let go.
In the end, Rick created an emotionless character, but sadly in the ending credits, Rick Prime returns to his original dimension and murders Prime Jerry. In the end, the Prime family lost everything because of Rick. They were abandoned by Prime Rick, used as bait by Rick C-137, and ultimately left to die in a world they never deserved. I guess at the end of the day, Rick doesn't just leave destruction across the universe, he leaves it in the people around him. Some lost their families, others lost their purpose, and a few even lost their life. Maybe the greatest danger in Rick and Morty isn't fighting Rick Sanchez, it's knowing him.
DNA scans clear.
Amy figured out what I was up to, and now she's gonna use my DNA to make a multiverse waypoint.
And get my fucking husband back! Activate fourth dimensional thrusters!
And with that, don't forget to subscribe.